After 2 grueling day 1 sessions, they survived. On day 2, they looked to advance. Faced with day 3, there's only one thing on their minds: cash. Here in Monaco, the time has come. One last chance to make the money. The last moment to make it all count. It's the last bubble of EPT 8. Welcome to Monaco, an exceptional, glamorous and prestigious location, and home to the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. This is the 13th stop of Season 8, completing the tour. 665 participants have paid 10,000 euros for the Grand Final main event. Last time, veterans fell. Young guns flourished, and the most feared player in the game crumbled on his return to the European circuit. Now only 130 remain, and they're racing to make it to the final 96, and a spot in the money. Min cashing pays 15,000 euros, but the aim of the game is to win 100 times that, with first place paying a not too shabby 1.5 million. Big day here in Monaco. The bubble is set to burst. 34 eliminations, and we can start paying players. Inside, they're all here. An international list of emerging pros and established players, all with impressive resumes. A Hall of Famer who wears 8 World Series bracelets. 5 EPT champs looking for that elusive second title.
It would mean a lot to me to become the first 2-time EPT champion. It means a lot to the champions who are still playing.
The reigning world champion, down but not out, with 23 big blinds.
It's just gonna come down to how I can start tomorrow. If I can catch some hands, then it's gonna be a new game.
An unassuming Italian sitting at the top of the leaderboard. And a group of ladies proving they can run just as good as the boys.
I'm just taking it day by day. It's still early and, you know, there's a lot of poker to be played, but I feel really confident that I'm good enough to win.
And under the lights of our feature table, 3 heavy hitters. A man with nearly $4 million in live tournament earnings. A familiar face fresh off his 1.6 million euro victory. And a 2-time LAPT main event and EPT London High Roller champion.
Of course, winning the Grand Final is the most prestigious event in the whole year. It's obviously way more important to win this one than any other EPT.
An entire season on tour comes down to this. It's time to exploit your competition, boost your chip stack, and survive the bubble. $130 start the day. I'm already feeling sorry for the 34 who've come this far but won't cash in this tournament.
I feel sorry for Justin Bonomo. If he doesn't make this bubble, he'll be up less than 1.65 million for the week. They call this guy Nacho because when he talks to girls, it's covered in cheese. And speaking of girls, oh, hello. Let's hope she gets plenty of screen time. Faraz Jaka, the ultimate metagamer, wears a shirt like that to make his chips harder to count.
He starts with around the tournament average. Bonomo's got position on Jaka, Barbero's got position on Bonomo, Margets has got position on Nacho, but she is a relatively short stack.
And Faraz Jaka's got position on her.
Bringing things full circle.
It is very similar to a circle, yes.
Blinds 1,500, 3,000 with a 400 ante. Action has been folded around to Faraz Jaka, who in the cutoff with 8-3 suited is going for chips.
And I should mention Faraz Jaka plays looser than Ali G's trousers. Respect.
Justin Bonomo in the big blind has king-queen offsuit.
This is a hand you're almost never folding in the big blind, especially to Faraz Jaka.
Bonomo calls.
You can 3-bet someone as live as Faraz, but it's not a hand you want to get 4-bet with.
Heads up to the flop, which is king 3-10 with 2 spades.
And this flop is G-Rose. Really easy for both players to get a lot of money in. With the size of their stacks, it could easily get in on this flop.
Bonomo checks to the razor. Faraz with the flush draw, likely to continue.
No way he gives up the lead after flopping this hard.
7,700.
Justin's going to have the best hand a lot of the time, and a lot of the time he's not going to like the turn card, so he's got to be considering a check raise.
Bonomo elects to call.
Check raise is allowed here, right?
They go to the turn, which is the Queen of Diamonds, giving Bonomo top 2.
It looks like a great card for Bonomo.
He checks a second time.
But, no, you see, that card could have easily helped Faraz Jaka as well. That was my my Jeff Goldblum from Jurassic Park.
It's terrible.
Fine.
Faraz, likely to bet a second time.
He's got to keep firing at this.
19,500.
Now, there's so many terrible river cards for Justin. This is almost always a check raise spot. So to keep the theme from Jurassic Park going, hold on to your butts.
The red chips are worth 1,000. The blue chips that Bonomo is cutting are worth 5,000 each. So this is a check raise to 68,000. This looks super strong. Check calling flop, check raising turn.
And this bet's for more than a third of Jaka's remaining stack. So he's got no fold equity to come back over the top and re-raise. The money went in now. Faraz will be showing bottom pair and an 8-high flush draw.
Jaka gives it up.
Clever girl.
Faraz now significantly below the tournament average. Bonomo with a nice size stack.
Hey, let's see what's happening in the T-Rex paddock.
While Piers Hines started the day relatively short, he is all in for his last 66,700. Dimitar Danchev with the decision. He elects to call. The cards go on their back. Piers Hines has pocket deuces. Danchev has him crushed with pocket aces.
Pius did not look happy. Never good when the only hand you want to be called by is trade deuce.
Danchev now a 92% favorite to eliminate the reigning world champion. Hines needs a deuce on the river. He has 2 outs.
He has chop outs. Just kidding, but you look though, huh?
All right, good luck.
And we lose Piers Hines from the tournament.
Don't worry, Pius. You can always win the main event 2 years in a row.
And we've also lost Marcel Lusk.
If he looks sad, it's because poker is more than just a game. LP available online.
Former chip leader Max Martinez. Called on the river by Ben Vinson. And Martinez's 2 pair are good.
Vincent was worried about the flush draw, saw it missed, ended up getting killed by the other raptor he didn't even know was there. The 4 of raptors.
So Max Martinez adds 86,000 chips to his stack, taking him back to the top of the tournament leaderboard. Behind him, Mosem Charania and Eric Seidel. And in 6th place in the current tournament top 10 is Vadim Kurzovic, in great shape to do the EPT double here in Monaco.
You know, to continue the Jurassic Park theme, which I'm going to do, I heard if you stand really still, Vadim Kurzovic can't see you.
He's not the only EPT winner who could potentially claim a second title. Martin Finger, Rupert Elder, they're still alive. We've got a man who won the grand final a couple of seasons ago, who could possibly win the same tournament twice. Plus, Sandra Noyox, one of only 3 women to have won an EPT title.
All right, now it's the time when we do all the ladies in the field. I got this one. I'm back. Hey, Annette. Hey, what's up? Hi, Maria. Maria has over 1.3 million in tournament winnings, and also on a side note, I called her room 3 times last night and hung up.
I'm laughing because it's funny, I'm laughing because I know it's true. Over at our secondary feature table, we find Pierre Neville signing a copy of his board game for Eric Seidel.
Actually, that's Eric with a K. He's just got 8 World Series of Poker bracelets, no bigs.
Seidel involved in a hand against Fadi Gosen.
This board is wetter than the bathroom on the Titanic.
Gosen bets the river, 15,000.
It's a fairly easy board to bet with nothing, but a very difficult board to call with something marginal.
Seidel gives it up, Gosen claims the pot.
He's also claiming marginal.
Back to our main feature table. Action will be on Leo Margets. She's under the gun with Ace Queen. And she raises, makes it 7,000 total.
Typical tactics of making friends to the big blind.
Yeah, I know that technique.
Yeah, I bet you do, you slide dog, you.
Faraz Jaka has pocket queens.
See you at the river. This is a spot where Faraz's rep could get him paid.
He re-raises. It's a 3-bet to 18,500. Action folded. Around to Nacho Barbero in the big blind. He gives it up. Back on Leo.
You can't ever really fold this to Faraz. You're doing really well against most of his range.
She shoves. And Jaka makes the call.
Well, once he calls, that narrows his range a little bit.
Leo drawing pretty thin.
She's looking to hit a 3-outer, one of those 3 aces. That'd be the easy way to do it.
Here comes the flop. Well, that opens up some options.
Leo's doubled her outs in this flop. She can now hit a gut shot.
The turn is another 10. Leo Margets looking for an ace or a jack on the river.
And you know the phrase, James. What Leo wants, Leo Margets!
A jack on the river sees her river a straight.
Oh my god, I can't believe that worked. We are shamans. We are Lethal Weapon 2 shamans.
She gets the double up. She looks a little bit embarrassed, but I think she'll take it.
These two are handling it like total pros. Leo showing the correct amount of contrition. Faraz showing the correct amount of control.
Buena mano. Nice hand. Nice river.
Not for Faraz. Welcome back to the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. Before the break, we saw Leo Margets river a straight to double up through Faraz Jaka. Now we're heading back into the field as one of the other remaining girls is tangling with Andrew Badaka.
James, did you know my Maria Ho fan club is now officially recognized?
By whom?
Her lawyers.
Maria Ho has just raised Andrew Badaka. He will re-raise a 3-bet to more than 14,000.
It's really anybody's guess what these two have at this point.
Maria shoves. Badaka calls. He tables queens. And Maria Ho has ace-queen.
It's almost the exact same situation we had just before. In the current poker climate, ace-queen is pretty much not being folded anymore to 3-bets. These two hands are just almost always going to get it in.
There's an ace on the flop. Badaka now drawing to 1 out.
What I meant to say is Andrew Badaker's a complete donk for not folding.
Maria Ho gets the double up.
Used to be you could get mad at somebody for calling ace-queen. Not anymore.
He's reasonably unhappy.
Well, FML obviously stands for female, but why would he have to specify that Maria's a female? We're all just poker players, brah.
Maria now in better shape and with a decent chance of making the money.
I've been playing for 7 years professionally and just recently got into tournaments the last couple years, and since then I've accumulated over 1.3 million in live earnings. Poker has opened the doors to a bunch of different opportunities that I never really knew that I would get into. It's really interesting to get to kind of be involved in all different facets of poker. I've done some hosting for ESPN 360 during the World Series. I was on the reality show The Amazing Race. The Amazing Race is a reality show where 12 teams compete and travel all around the world, and it's basically like a scavenger hunt where you have no idea where you're going next, what you're supposed to be doing, and it's a combination of physical and mental challenges. And every week, one team gets eliminated, and by the end, the winning team wins $1 million. Me and my teammate, who was actually another female professional poker player, Tiffany Michelle, she and I were the only female team that season, and we were probably the most cutthroat. We got 6 out of 12 teams, so, you know, we're proud of that. We felt good about our finish, but no, we didn't win. So, you know, I think it's really fitting for a poker player because we're strategic thinkers, and we know that, you know, sometimes you're gonna have to bluff a little, you're gonna have to lie to people, you're gonna have to, you know, do things that maybe you don't wanna do, but you kinda have to get ahead, and it's a game in the end.
Maria is famous for being the last woman standing at the World Series in 2007, and when I hit the dance floor, she's the first woman sitting.
Well, it's kind of joint first with every other female in the club, right?
Tied for first, sure. Looks like we've picked up Rupert Elder on our cooler cam.
He shoved that flop with ace-queen. Mohsin Shirani has called with ace-king. And Rupert Elder will need to see a queen on the river. No two-time title for the Brit, as he goes out just before the money.
I guess you could say that Most Intrania didn't really respect his elder, huh? Couldn't you say that, James?
Pretty sure it's like 475.
James?
Anywho, staying on the outer tables, it's Max Martinez versus Ben Vincent, round 2.
Looks like we're gonna see another big river value bet by Max Martinez.
More than the size of the pot, 81,600.
This is a really dry board to start. Nothing really developed at any point, so this could be the kind of spot where Max could easily try to get some thin value with a hand like queens or jacks.
Last time Vincent paid him off, but not this time.
Tough to make a read there. Sometimes you just have to look into their beautiful Italian eyes and let it go.
Max adds 37,000 chips to his stack. He's now playing 528,000, still the tournament chip leader. Justin Bonomo's worked himself into the top 8 with 117 players remaining. Bonomo, one of 7 players at our feature table. It's been folded to him on the button. He has ace-7 off, and he's raising. Makes it 7,000. Action on Nacho Barbero in the big blind. King-10 off.
Justin's made a standard raise from the button. Nacho defending with king-10 from the big blind would be pretty standard as well.
He does call. Heads up to the flop. And that flop is jack, deuce, deuce. Ace high still good.
No pair, no draw for Nacho as he checks to the razor.
Bonomo will continue. Makes it 10,000.
Might seem like an odd float, but Nacho likely thinks his hand is going to be the best one a decent amount of time against Justin's button range.
Justin spikes top pair on the turn. He didn't need to improve, but he does.
He should have no problem continuing to fire.
Barbero has checked a second time. And looks like Bonomo will bet a second time. 24,000.
If Nacho thought king high might be good before, it would still be good now. And he knows Justin's likely to keep firing at that ace no matter what.
Nacho also has a gut shot. He calls. And the river is a 7. Bonomo now with aces and 7s.
Bonomo's got a complete hammerlock on this hand. Getting out of line now is Nacho's best strategy.
Barbero checks a third time.
Now's when Bonomo is going to attempt to tell Nacho via con value. I bet y'all think Nacho's Hollywooding here. Don't get me wrong, I'd be surprised if he called too, but he is gonna have the best hand sometimes.
Wow, this could be sick call.
Bonomo is certainly capable of 3-barreling with complete air.
Barbero lets it go.
Don't show me, please.
No danger.
Bonomo now up over 300,000. Let's head over to our secondary feature table, where it seems Annette Oberstadt has just taken a seat.
Hi, Annette. Welcome to the table.
She's not involved in this hand. We've just seen Eric Seidel 3-bet Jesse Martin. He then 4-bets to over 81,000.
I'd say with 10K left behind, he's pot committed.
Seidel moves all in. Jesse Martin calls. Ace-king for Seidel, ace-10 for Jesse Martin.
Martin didn't have a ton of chips to start the hand. It's Domination Nation for the two Americans, who between them have a combined 8 World Series of Poker bracelets.
7 Jack Deuce, looking good for Seidel.
There's black, but they're the wrong suit for Jesse.
King on the turn, Seidel now with top pair, a 91% favourite to win the hand. Jesse Martin has literally grabbed his coat, but there's a queen on the river.
Put that jacket down, buddy. You're sticking around, though Eric might need the jacket on account of the cooler.
Damage. 91 something.
Who is this Mitch?
Eric Seidel just called him Mitch. It's hilarious.
Seidel losing to a 4 outer on the river. Back out into the field, where we find Johnny Lodden all in. And he's not the only player who's shoved in this hand. Joel Bez is all in.
Can't lose.
As is Ricky Gervais. I'm sorry, Jason Wheeler.
I guess he won't be praying to win.
Aces for Loddon, sixes for Wheeler, king jack for Bez.
Eat, sleep, rock, repeat. Legend.
Right there in the window.
A 6 on the flop. Wheeler says there's no way I lose. Well, right now, he's a 76% favourite. Loddon has picked up a flush draw on the turn. There's the 4 of hearts on the river.
2 short stacks walk into a bar. Jason Wheeler walks out. And here's Johnny's empty chair. And right now he probably wants to open the door to his hotel room with an axe.
Joel Bez will also hit the rail. Back to the feature table where Faraz Jaka is all in. He's shoved from under the gun with Queen Jack suited. Called by John Andres, who woke up with aces in the cutoff. But Faraz has flopped a flush draw.
Looks like we got a good shot at seeing aces cracked again.
It's a 10 ball to make it fun.
And the ace makes it pretty fun too, especially the ace of clubs.
It's the 4 of clubs. Faraz has a lock on the hand.
And like that, aces are drawing dead. Death by Jaka.
Faraz gets the double up.
I like clubbing, what can I say?
Funny thing to say for a guy who looks like he's usually dressing himself in front of a disco ball. You know, I don't want to say the club here in Monaco is expensive, but they don't count your money, they weigh it. I had to take out a loan to use the coat check. The bottles don't come with a bucket of ice, they cost one. A maraschino cherry will run you a C note. Phil Ivey actually had to look at the check. A bottle of Cristal costs $5 grand and a kidney. The keg isn't the only thing that gets tapped. The girls commonly referred to as bottle pirates are actual pirates.
Breaking news, it's an expensive town. Action's been folded around to Leah Margets. Jack 9 of clubs in the cutoff. She's raising. Makes it 6,500. Folded to Faraz in the small blind. Queen 8.
Here we go.
What's he playing at? He 3-bets to 16,500.
Poker's so fun. You see, with this stack, Faraz just made the kind of 3-bet that most people are going to need a super premium hand to make.
Gets a fold from Margets.
Quick note, this is Faraz's chip movement for only 17 hands. He's a very active player. You can always expect a lot of movement from him, especially now that he's short-stacked. The only place you'd expect more movement is on the dance floor.
As the bubble approaches, do you expect Faraz to become a force? Tag your tweets, EPT Grand Final. We're one level into play on day 3 of the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final, and we've seen many big names fall short of making the money. I suppose the beaches of Monaco provide some solace, but let's head back to our feature table and see if Faraz Jaka can dance around his opponents with some crazy play and secure a cash.
Now, if only there were some way to tell what tournament and what day it is.
6,300.
113 players remain. Remember, 96 will get paid. Anatoly Gertovoy was recently moved to our feature table. He's facing an opening raise from Jaka. Faraz has made it 6,300. He picked up King Queen under the gun. Well, been folded around to Nacho Barbero, who has Ace King on the button.
This is most certainly a 3-bet for so many reasons. Big hand, position, Faraz Jaka.
Barbero makes it 16,500. Jack Queen in the big blind for Salvatore Bianco.
Boy, you really want to see a flop with this, don't you? Okay, pot odds, but he's out of position and he hasn't got a ton of chips either.
He lets it go. Back on Jaka, facing a 3-bet.
All in. I got
4-bet shove and a snap call.
Faraz thought he'd get a fold enough of the time to make that shove, but nah.
Jaka, huge underdog.
I'll get there again.
If you've seen how Faraz dresses, you know confidence is not this guy's problem.
I folded 2 queens. Not really.
Oh, Justin Bonomo, you rapscallion.
Sorry, Justin, but I can't believe that joke ever worked. Jack 5-8, not looking good for Jaka.
Bianco did fold the queen, though.
meaning Faraz is drawing to 2 outs.
What sweat card will he call for? Obviously a 10.
But it's a deuce.
No more sweat, just the queens now.
We could be about to say farewell to Faraz. The river is not a queen. Jaka's gone.
Go on.
Good game for us.
And Nacho adds more than 91,000 to his stack.
Hope you packed a lunch, Faraz. It is a long walk.
Nacho Barbero now above average in chips and looking good to make the money.
My tournament was relatively calm, which is unusual for me, up until day 3 today. The first 2 hours, the only 2 hours that lasted, were quite a roller coaster. My bust-out hand, I got in king-queen pretty light against Nacho's ace-king. It was a pretty risky spot I took, but you know, we're kind of coming near the money, and I thought he might be playing a little aggressively, so decided to take a risk.
In the words of a doctor who specializes in hypochondriacs, sometimes they have it.
Straight back to the action. Nacho with ace-6.
Straight back to the grayback. Look at that salt and pepper hair.
Makes it 6,500.
It's a little loose from this position, in my opinion.
9-10 on the button for Bianco. He mucks. Gersovoy gives up the small blind.
No, you know, I wanted to say to my friends, you know what? I called CJ on the feature table with King High, and it was good. That was the story of the day.
Yeah, but it wasn't good, brah. And what's going on here?
Folding when it's good is not quite as good as a story.
I know.
Alex Mostafavi has decided to defend his big blind with 7-3.
Mustafavi must have misread his hand.
Check in the duck.
You can tell this guy's read a book or two.
Oh, flop better, Mostafavi.
Bad flop for Nacho, though I don't see how he could get in a ton of trouble here. He's got ace high and a gut shot.
He bets 7,000.
This board's pretty wet, and bad 2 pairs are susceptible, so Mostafavi may elect to raise here.
Anytime this year.
Raise.
There it is.
He got there.
Mostafavi makes it 27,000 total.
Now, Nacho's got a gut shot and backdoor diamonds, but these folks are pretty close to the money, and I don't see Mostafavi bluffing much in this spot.
All in.
Whoops.
Oh, no.
Call.
Of course you call.
That face is shock. And I think this was a not-so-great shove by Nacho. It would have been really weird time for Mostafavi to bluff check raise, and if he ain't bluffing, he ain't folding.
An 80% chance that Mostafavi gets the double up.
And that face is disgust.
The turn is the Jack of Spades. Barbero needs a 5 on the river to eliminate Mostafavi. But it's a king. And Mostafavi gets that double up.
Now, if Nacho's going to keep playing so crazy, we better at least get his feature out of the way.
I won 2 Latin American poker tours. I was the first one to do back-to-back.
Here's the river. It's a jack of hearts, and Barbero wins. He can't believe it. That's right, back-to-back Barbero. What an accomplishment.
Winning back-to-back LAPT obviously was like the pearl of my career. Winning 2 consecutive stops is very, very hard. To beat the field 2 times in a row is really, really, really hard. But I mean, it happened to me, and I'm really glad that I had that opportunity. It was the most amazing thing that happened to me in poker. Then I won the high roller event in EPT London 2010. That's the thing that actually proved that I could play, because it was 70 of the best players in the world, the highest buy-in I ever played in my life at that point. It changed my life in a way that the LAPTs, they changed my life because I started to become super famous in South America. This one changed my life economically because it was almost $1 million. When I won the high roller, I obviously started playing more tournaments. I felt more confident. I got way better after that because I really tried harder to improve my game. Watch out!
I think I will win one EPT someday. I'm pretty confident about that.
Not only is Nacho a good poker player, but he's also incredibly sexy. I mean funny! Nice and funny. Shut up, leave me alone.
Methinks you doth protest too much. As we head to the secondary feature table, we find Eric Seidel in action. The other player in the hand is Fadi Gosen, who will bet that turn for 20,000. Seidel calls.
Seidel's called twice now. Could be a bear ace, maybe a flush draw.
Queen of diamonds on the river. Seidel checks again. Showdown. Gosen with ace-king for top two. Seidel with 4-5 of diamonds for the rivered flush.
Look at the guy at Eric's left judging him. River rat. Pretty tight not value betting ace-king there. Gosen did well to check behind, but in the long run, he's probably going to lose value checking in that spot.
Despite winning that pot, Eric Seidel is moving down the leaderboard. He's 9th in chips overall. Max Martinez also moving down one spot. We have a new tournament chip leader. It's the Dutch pro, Geert-Jan Partij. Incidentally, Partij and Martinez at the same table and involved in a big pot.
I don't know why this always happens. These two are now playing a pot worth over 200 big blinds.
Partij has shoved the river, which would put Martinez all in.
I don't see how you can call in this spot if you have anything less than a full house. Even the naked king can't call. Do you really want to go from second in chips for the whole tournament to busting out before the bubble? No. The answer is no. Either Partij has quads or he's simply insane. They say he goes by the nickname Brute. Well, story checks out.
Martinez gives it up. Partij consolidates his chip lead. Now sitting on 663,000. And Martinez not having a great day as we get ever closer towards the bubble. 106 remain. We need to lose 10 more players and then we'll be in the money. Staying on the outer tables, Maria Ho has been in the tank for over 5 minutes.
My guess is she has a legitimate decision. Some kind of overpair maybe. Just have to ask yourself if you're playing against someone who's going to get all aggro on the bubble for no reason, and most of the time the answer is no.
She decides to fold.
Or yes in this case.
I'm not here to waste people's time. Of course I had a hand with the decision.
No, I mean.
It's almost half my stack to call that bet, and then I would have 10 big blinds. I'm not trying to... I wasn't trying to stall, if that's what you're implying. Okay.
So she gets bluffed, shouted at, and then a speech. Brutal hand for Maria.
It was Mikhail Petrov who called the clock on her. We've lost another player from the tournament. Eric Coleman takes a walk to the rail as the field continues to whittle down. Back to our feature table.
Weird hand developing here. Mustafavi's limped under the gun.
Ah, the Gibbons.
And he's got ace-jack suited, and if he does call this raise from Justin Bonomo, that's known as...
the double Gibbons.
It's a little unorthodox, but in this case, calling is certainly fine.
He does call. So these two players will go to the flop. Bonomo with position and the betting lead. Mustafavi with the best hand.
Checking the...
Most players are going to check to the razor anyway, I guess.
The flop, ace, queen, 8. Both players flop a pair.
Mustafavi flops top pair. That's the best one.
Bonomo does not fall into the trap, though. He checks behind. 4 diamonds on the turn.
Justin knew he wouldn't get action from worse, and he'd never get a better hand to fold.
Mustafavi checks a second time.
This is a pretty sneaky check. Justin's almost never going to be behind after this second check.
A delayed continuation bet of 23,000.
Mustafavi clearly doesn't think under the gun is out of position. He thinks it's check raise position.
Raise.
Here we go.
14,000 more.
Makes it 63,000 total.
Mustafavi's put Justin in a really weird spot. I do not think he can fold. Even though we know he should.
Bonomo calls. 161,000 in the middle with 1 card to come. Bonomo will need to improve on the river. He doesn't.
That 6 is a total brick.
Mustafavi with 148k behind.
All in.
Shoves.
Mustafavi has played this hand weirder than Al Yankovic.
You know we're on the money bubble, right?
Yeah, of course. It's the plastic. The real money is in the back. At the end.
He heard a pro say that once.
But because you're a good player, I prefer to play with you in the final table.
Not sure I know what that means.
How much is it? A lot of chips.
Over half your stack, buddy. Justin only getting around 2 to 1 on his money.
Man, I hate folding.
You should probably make an exception in this case.
Okay, you can take it. Very nice hand.
Okay. You can see anyone you want.
This one okay? Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's the jack.
Very nice play, sir. Very nice play.
That's gonna bug him.
Wow.
He shows the ace too. Why not spot Rafa Nadal a few sets?
I don't want you. Want to be relaxed and continue.
Wow.
I don't think that it was bluff. Never. I told you.
This is the best hand for sure.
Of course. Otherwise, why go out?
Best hand, yes. Risky value shove, also yes.
So, to find out how you can join us on the European Poker Tour, feature in the show, and win training from a top poker pro, go to PokerStars.com. Welcome back to the PokerStars and Monte Carlo Casino EPT Grand Final. A few more eliminations and we will hit the bubble. The bubble boy. The grossest finish in poker. Days and days at the table, zero return. Everyone's rooting against you and they cheer at your misfortune. Well, Season 8 has seen its fair share of cruel bubbles. Take it away, Stapleton.
April, Berlin. We saw former EPT winner David Vamplew all in with kings against Heinz Kamutsky's Pocket Ladies.
Vamplew at risk, but 4-1 favourite to get the double up.
When the flop hit, Vamplew's goose was pretty much cooked, as the queen was in the window. Who eats goose these days anyway? But before that, January, Bahamas, Paradise Island. Jeff Forrest got it in with ace-queen off, but ran it into the ace-king of Bill Chen. Ouch! Jeff Forrest is up a creek without a paddle. That was me! And just to add insult to injury, the river brought another king to send Forrest to the woods. October 2011, London. Steve Warburton glanced down at ace-king suited and pulled the trigger. But when the cards went on their backs, you saw Kyle Chung was a 7-1 favorite to knock him out. And he did. Hard. Warburton was toast.
Stephen Warburton is the bubble boy here at EPT London.
But the worst and first bubble of Season 8 came in August 2011 in Barcelona. Jeffrey Hakim got it in with ace-jack against the perennial monster 8-4 off.
And in off he does have live cards. Hakim needs the ace-jack to hold. And there is an 8 on the flop.
But the Italian stallion caught his date with an 8. Hakim was down but not out. He had 2 more shots to run down the monster that is 8-4. The river came a 7. And 8-4 finally held up for once. Jeffrey Hakim may have been the bubble boy, but he took it like a bubble man.
What did you take during the break? I'm genuinely scared. Here in Monaco, short stacks litter the room, all trying to hang on for a payoff. Looks like we've just lost Annette Oberstad in 101st place. So how many players remain, Joe?
Let me check my notes. I think we're around 100.
Blinds up to 2,000, 4,000 with a 500 ante. Action on our feature table's been folded to Justin Bonomo. He raises from the hijack with 7-5 suited. Ace-jack for Nacho Barbero on the button.
Standard shove spot. Nacho's going to take this down pretty much every time.
He shoves. Neomar gets in the small blind, folds. Bruno Fatussi's just arrived at the feature table. He's in the big blind with kings.
Pretty much every time. I said pretty much.
Yeah, I'm not into.
Bruno reshoves.
Very smooth. Make it seem like you're not that into it, or maybe you're just French and you're not that into it.
Justin gets out of the way. Nacho Barbero at risk. He does have an overcard to Fatussi's kings.
He's at risk, and he's behind.
Not anymore. An ace on the flop.
Good flop for Notch.
The 2C needs to see a king on the turn or river. Just the river to come. Barbero set for the double up.
Just like a French film, this probably isn't going to have a happy ending for Bruno.
It's a jack. 2 pair for Barbero. Wins him the pot.
103.
Listen. 15,000 euro ace jack.
What?
15,000 euro ace jack.
I know. It's worth a lot more than that.
That's just what a min cash will get you.
While we were following that drama, we lost our 100th place finisher at the outer tables. And heading out to the field, it looks like Franck Blanc has just eliminated someone in 99th place, meaning we are down to 98.
This is the last and biggest main event bubble for all of Season 8.
96 is the magic number. Adam Levy all in.
This isn't good.
Called by Vadim Markashevsky. Levy with ace-queen. Markashevsky with aces.
Oh man, that's brutal. Ace-queen with like 15 bigs in the cutoff running aces. He gave me the look. He gave me the look of, sorry bro.
Coolers are brutal in general. On the bubble, they're even worse. Right now, James and I are both giving you the look. Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
Good game. Good luck, guys.
Not looking good for Adam Levy.
Drawing ostensibly dead.
Now he is drawing dead. Adam Levy exits in 98th place. This is the bubble.
Can we stop the clock in the main event, please? Okay, we're 97 players remaining. We're just going to balance the table. We're going to continue hand for hand.
James, you think these guys are anxious? Well, the bubble itself is stressful enough, but having to wait in between hands is just nerve-wracking. Everyone's patiently hanging out, waiting for the go-ahead for that next hand to be dealt.
Okay, dealers, deal one more hand, please.
Here we go, hand for hand play. Each table will play one hand until the bubble bursts. The next hand won't start until play's completed at every single table in the room. Blinds are up to 2,500, 5,000. The ante stays at 500. John Andres folds. Nacho Barbero has picked up ace-king in the hijack.
Can't fold ace-king on the bubble. Not if you call yourself a professional.
Raises to 12,000. Bruno for 2C on the button. Jack 6 offsuit. I'm not really sure what he's thinking about. He's folded. Lorienman has given up the small blind. Anatoly Gertovoy in the big blind will also fold.
And Nacho steals the blinds with ace-king. Now these guys have to sit around and wait for every other table to complete their hands before they can play the next one.
No drama at our feature table, but there is drama out in the field.
Okay, we have 3 all-in calls. Clock stopped. We're going to go table by table. Gael, with the 2 aces, is our all-in player.
Gael Bauman is the player at risk, but huge favourite with 2 aces against Daniel Gomez's 9-5.
Let's see the floor, please. The flop is 9, 10, 4 to rainbow.
Gomez has some equity, more than he did before the flop, actually. And you know that Gael Bauman...
Stop it, we're on the bubble.
On the turn, please. The turn is a queen.
Bauman has to fade 9s and 5s.
And the final card, please.
The bubble's not bursting.
It's a king.
Aces hold.
I'm gonna need someone to leave a camera at this table. It's okay, you can use mine.
So Bauman gets the double up.
We have another all-in.
Remember, there are 2 more all-in hands.
This is insanity.
Tournament director Toby Stone races across the room.
Please tell me this is Martin Finger versus Finger Martin.
Thankfully not, because that would be epically confusing. It's Martin Finger with pocket jacks against Jesse Martin's ace-queen. We have a classic race on our hands.
Like clean sheets versus warm towels. Which one has the slight mathematical edge?
Martin Finger is the player at risk. He needs those jacks to hold.
Okay, that's it, please.
Ace on the flop.
It's king, ace, 9.
Finger way behind now.
10 card, please. Turn is another 9.
The bubble's about to burst.
Martin's going to need a jack. Otherwise, it could be one of our bubbles. And 5 card, please. It's a 7. We have just lost Martin Finger.
Martin Finger finishes in 97th place. He is our bubble boy, but we do have another hand. And remember, hand-for-hand play, these all happen at the same time. If we lose another player, if we lose Andrew Badaka here, they will actually chop the bubble.
Badaka ahead, but at risk to the same guy who gave Maria Ho a speech for taking her time to make a decision, in case you're wondering who to root for.
Come on! Yes. Flop is king, 7, queen. Michael has hit both kings.
Mikhail Petrov takes the lead. Badaka on the verge of elimination.
Turn is at 3. Andrew's going to need to see an ace. Otherwise, there's going to be one of 2 bubbles here today. And the final card, please.
He's trying the walkway maneuver. It's risky.
It's a 3. We just lost 2 players. Congratulations, you're all in the money in EPT Grand Final.
So, Andrew Badaka and Martin Finger will actually share 96th place prize money. Adam Levy, who went out in 98th place, is the true bubble.
What an honor. And there's only a smattering of applause. Good, no need for that. Justin Bonomo having a heck of a week here in Monaco. Nacho Barbero is happy relieved. For those who don't speak Spanish, Leo is tweeting that she's guaranteed 15K and also wondering if anyone has my phone number. You can give it to her. And here's some guys who should be sending Andrew Badaka and Martin Finger Christmas cards this year.
As we lost 2 players from separate tables, Michael and Martin are going to split 96th place.
He means Andrew and Martin.
You share?
Twitter wall. More like the whinging wall. Gotta wonder if the 7,500 makes it sting any less.
Midway through day 3, 95 remain, all of them in the money. Hiet Jan Patayk is the current tournament chip leader, with Eric Seidel and Mohsen Charania bringing up the rear of the top 10. Notice that Max Martinez has fallen off the leaderboard. Next time, it's crunch time as day 3 concludes. Fresh from his super high roller victory, will Justin Bonomo's momentum carry him through?
Part of me almost feels like there's something in the air that's pulling for me to win.
Will Hall of Famer Eric Seidel survive the day and finally get his hands on some European silverware? Or will the trinity of formidable female pros at our feature table have what it takes?
They used to think I was the scared girl. They don't anymore.
Who will endure? Who will outlast? Who will make it to day 4?